Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts. Today's plant of interest is one called Okinawa spinach. Its scientific name is Gynura bicolor. Now, I haven't been able to ascertain what the name Gynura means, but bicolor is obvious. As you can see in the specimen here, green leaves up top and bright purple underneath. It's a shade of purple that I'm pretty sure Prince is spinning around going, but I digress. Okinawa spinach is named that because it is an edible vegetable. The leaves are edible and they're used in place of spinach. It is in the Aster family, making it a daisy, which is okay. Remember what I said about asters being one of the major food plant groups? Here's yet more proof of that, folks. It is native to China, Thailand, and Myanmar. I'm sure I mispronounced that, but we'll despite these difficulties, we'll forge ahead. It is considered a tender perennial from zones 8B to 11. More so in the 11 side of things. We're in zone 8A here at the test gardens in the lab, and so, of course, that means that this lovely specimen, which it's only going to be a specimen, will not survive outside. However, it does plenty well as an oddball plant in the garden. Now, as for soil conditions, I could not find any real conclusive pH range information, so I'm just going to say give it the best soil you've got, and in a pot, give it a decent potting soil with some and regular doses of fertilizer. You're basically treating it like a basil. The plant's leaves are a bit fleshy, which makes them essentially semi-succulent. Which is weird to say. Semi-succulent. But anyway, now here's the downside. Okinawa spinach is potentially poisonous. It has, and pardon me while I pronounce this, pyrrolizidine alkaloids, which can attack and damage the liver. Despite that, it is still eaten. It's considered a cool vegetable, which means it is stir-fried and added with what is considered hot vegetables like ginger and other stuff. The nutrition for it is inconclusive information-wise, but most sources agree that it is a source of iron, potassium, calcium, and vitamin A. Now about that poison thing. I'm not sure if those alkaloids break down when you cook it, or they're only present when it's macerated and you eat it fresh. Information is sketchy there, again. But it's clear that this plant is eaten in a multitude of ways, so it is an option. Even if you don't eat it, as I understand it, the flower, roughly daisy-ish, is a neat orange color, so you get that out of it. I mean, it's a daisy, it's going to attract pollinators, so that's a win for you. I believe 6-inch cuttings may root in water, which makes it easy to propagate, so if you grow it as an ornamental foliage plant, there is that. I don't think there's much else about this plant that's interesting other than its use, if you're weary of the alkaloids, as an ornamental. It does take full sun. It's not too picky about drought, which is interesting. And this plant was originally a 4-incher, moved up into this recycled blueberry pot, and there's the label down there if you can see it. And it's been sitting out in the test gardens in a spot where it gets intense sunlight all the way up till about 1 or 2 p.m. So, as far as interesting things in the garden, this is an option for you, an exotic option that is edible. This might be a famine food, actually. So, with all that said, consider Okinawa spinach for your garden, and of course, as always folks, keep them growing.